So Caitlin Clark is, let's be completely real, like when people are talking about these CBA negotiations and everyone's saying the most important players are the people that are on the committee, let's be completely real. The most important player in CBA negotiations is Caitlin Clark. The second most important player in CBA negotiations is not necessarily Caitlin Clark, or say obviously not Caitlin Clark, it's Angel Reese. The third most important player is Sabrina Ionescu. The fourth most important player, AJ Wilson. Fifth most important player, Paige Beckers. And maybe if you want to put Paige Beckers at third, fair enough. They are the most important.
She didn't just hint at it. Caitlin Clark, the undisputed most influential player in the WNBA's ongoing CBA negotiations, spoke about the 2026 season not as a hopeful possibility, but as an absolute certainty. Her calm confidence, later reinforced by another league superstar, delivered a message that couldn't be clearer. The WNBA is here to stay. This wasn't empty optimism or casual chatter from a rising star. It was deliberate, strategic, a calculated declaration aimed directly at the growing speculation surrounding a potential strike. The implications ripple far beyond one season, impacting players, fans, sponsors, and the long-term trajectory of women's basketball. When the league's biggest voices speak with this level of certainty, their words outweigh any behind-the-scenes committee discussion. Their confidence doesn't just reassure, it reshapes the narrative.
Got Caitlin Clark saying this, and obviously Angel Reese during the week was talking about her biggest goals, and she was talking about playing in the playoffs. So you've got the two most important players in league negotiations, talking as if it's a guarantee that it happens. They're talking as if it's a guarantee, and that's one of those things that I don't think people really are like taking into account, is that it really does matter when you've got these players talking like it's completely guaranteed. Talking like...
And Clark wasn't standing alone. Angel Reese, a dominant presence in her own right and arguably the second most critical figure in these high-stakes negotiations, also spoke candidly about her future goals, specifically emphasizing playoff contention in the years ahead. That detail matters. When the two most commercially powerful players in the league, the athletes who directly influence television contracts, sponsorship revenue, and fan engagement, speak about the future as if it's already secured, it sends a powerful signal. They are actively rejecting fear-driven speculation, calming fan anxiety, and issuing a clear reassurance to investors and league stakeholders alike. This level of alignment isn't coincidence. It's coordinated messaging with intent.
Imagine your legacy being destroying the sport that you made a career on. Like if the WNBA, like if the PA calls a strike and people are like, oh, 97% of the players like voted for a strike. No, they didn't. 97% of the players basically said they trust the CBA. They trust the CBA. Or say not trust CBA, they trust the PA. That if that they're okay to strike if...
The weight of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese's statements cannot be overstated. In the tense environment surrounding CBA negotiations, every public comment from key figures is dissected and analyzed. When players of this magnitude, not union representatives or committee members, speak confidently about future seasons as a given, it fundamentally alters the conversation. Their relaxed certainty is a strategic maneuver designed to project stability and suppress uncertainty. This isn't casual talk. It's calculated positioning. They understand exactly how influential their platforms are, and they are intentionally using that influence to protect the league's momentum and safeguard the WNBA's future.
Like voted for a strike. No, they didn't. 97% of the players basically said they trust the CBA. They trust the CBA. Or say not trust CBA, they trust the PA. That if that they're okay to strike if nothing happens. That they're okay with the strike as a last resort. And if nothing else, that vote is just in solidarity. Like, the reality is that even if it was 60%, it would make absolutely no difference. But the players also know that if half the league if it ended up being 60% voting, that the league would just
While official CBA committee members play a vital role in negotiations, the true leverage often rests elsewhere, with the league's most marketable stars. Caitlin Clark exists beyond the definition of a traditional player. She is a cultural force, a commercial brand, and a ratings driver all in one. Her involvement, even indirectly through public remarks, carries more weight than countless closed-door meetings. Her voice cuts through uncertainty, addressing the concerns of fans, sponsors, and investors in real time. Alongside Reese,
she aren't necessarily like taking into account how important it is. The likes of a Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese talking as if it's a guarantee, how important that is. Because at the end of the day, these are players that Nike, Reebok, these big brands are kind of like Nike are putting a lot of stock in Caitlin Clark. Like, there's a lot going into Caitlin Clark. I think this Team USA camp, and imagine if Team USA fuck about and don't pick Caitlin Clark. Nike on the spot would probably just drop them. The rumor is, again, this is
2026 season. That interpretation misses the reality. The vote was a show of unity, not an appetite for disruption. It represented collective trust in the Players Association and a willingness to use a strike only as a last resort if fair negotiations fail. This wasn't about threatening the league's existence. It was a strategic display of solidarity, proof that players stand together to protect what they've helped build.
Complete online rumor I'm seeing on Twitter. This doesn't mean anything, but the rumor is that the Caitlin Clark shoe is going to be revealed during a Super Bowl commercial. That is what the rumor is. That it's going to be revealed during the Super Bowl, which is what, like, I'm just trying to think when it comes down to it. When is the Super Bowl? It's start of February. It's always going to be the start of February anyway. It was the 10th of February last year, I think. It was 10th of February. Either way, though, look, at the end of the day, this is
that unity is essential. The mere possibility of a strike, however unlikely, is the strongest leverage players possess in negotiations over compensation and working conditions. Without that unified vote, the Players Association would lack meaningful bargaining power. The players know this. They understand that achieving a projected 6,700% increase in pay requires unwavering solidarity. This effort isn't about dismantling the league. It's about elevating it. It's about ensuring players finally receive a fair share of the rapidly expanding success they've created.
Games in March, they are all going to be a lead-in to what is going to be the biggest WNBA season ever. Because the assumption is like that the season is going to happen. The Caitlin Clark is going to be healthy. The Paige Becker is going to be even better. The Age is going to continue her dominance. The Fee is going to be healthy coming into the season. That Angel Reese is going to have the most competent team around her that she's had in her career. And by the way, so many people were like, oh, and rival play means nothing. I was like, oh yeah, winning and losing means nothing. But I'm like, stats mean nothing. But I'm like,
beyond player power, an even larger force looms over these negotiations: Nike. As a major stakeholder in the WNBA, Nike's financial investment and influence are enormous. The brand has placed substantial backing behind Caitlin Clark, and a cancelled season, or even a destabilized league, would directly impact its bottom line. Nike's commitment to its star athletes functions as a stabilizing anchor, making it increasingly unlikely that negotiations will collapse. This isn't just sponsorship, it's partnership. And Nike's vested interest in the WNBA's growth adds another powerful layer of assurance that common ground will be reached and the league's upward trajectory will continue.
That is really important because it's transferable. People are like, oh, but like Angel Reese killed it in Arrival. I'm like, outside the first 4 games of the season, Angel Reese played like an all WNBA team player. Like, do people not realize that? Angel Reese was unbelievable last season. There was a chunk in the middle of the season where she was averaging something like 17 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists at the Chicago Sky. It was a 10-game spell, and the Chicago Sky were 5-5. And I understand it's a small sample size, but like, still, like it's one of those things where genuinely, Like, Angel was very, very good last year. But yeah, it is
The sheer scale of Nike's commitment becomes even clearer with a rumored revelation that has sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Caitlin Clark's signature shoe is reportedly set to debut during a Super Bowl commercial. Pause on that for a moment. The Super Bowl. This isn't just marketing, it's a statement of power. A multi-million-dollar investment that signals Nike's extraordinary confidence not only in Clark, but in the future of the WNBA itself. No brand commits to that kind of global stage if there's even a hint of instability ahead. Nike is betting massive capital on Clark, and that bet only makes sense if the league continues to provide her with the biggest possible platform. Their expectation is clear. The WNBA will deliver her stage, her spotlight, and her moment. Nike's leverage extends beyond the professional league and reaches directly into Team USA. Imagine a scenario, however unrealistic, where the national team's decision-makers choose to leave Caitlin Clark off the Olympic roster. According to circulating rumors, Nike would respond decisively by pulling its support, effectively distancing itself from the program entirely. Whether hypothetical or not, the message is unmistakable. Clark's market value is so immense that Nike's protective stance influences decisions at every level. The brand's identity is now intertwined with her success, and they will ensure every opportunity is maximized. This dynamic creates a system where the WNBA, USA Basketball, and every affiliated organization is incentivized to keep Clark front and center. Now contrast this reality with the emergence of alternative leagues like Unrivaled. Some players, including Natasha Cloud, have suggested that it's possible to play year-round in Unrivaled without relying on the WNBA. The exposure, the financial upside, none of it is replicated elsewhere. Even with strong individual talent, alternative leagues simply do not offer the same visibility or commercial opportunity. Even the presence of a star like Paige Bueckers hasn't been enough to consistently elevate Unrivaled's viewership. While her appearances do provide a temporary boost, the broader struggle to gain traction highlights a crucial truth. Elite talent still needs the right stage. The WNBA provides that stage. It offers infrastructure, history, media reach, and cultural relevance that no startup league can match. Players understand this reality. The idea of a mass exodus away from the WNBA simply doesn't hold up under scrutiny. This comparison solidifies the WNBA's irreplaceable value. It isn't just another basketball league. It's a cultural institution, a global brand, a movement that resonates far beyond the court. No alternative league currently offers the same blend of competitive intensity, mainstream exposure, and historical significance. Fans, agents, sponsors, and players all recognize this fundamental truth. The WNBA sits at the pinnacle of women's professional basketball, and its continuity is essential to the entire ecosystem. That's why the anticipation for the upcoming season is already reaching extraordinary levels. The assumption across the league is that Caitlin Clark will return healthy, Paige Bueckers will come back stronger than ever, and A'ja Wilson will continue her dominance. Players like Aliyah Boston are expected to take another leap, faster, stronger, more refined. This concentration of star power virtually guarantees a must-watch season. A league stoppage under these conditions is almost unthinkable. Momentum is building, and the players are ready to deliver something special. Angel Reese's trajectory only adds to the excitement. After early struggles last season, she caught fire midway through the year. Over a 10-game stretch, she averaged roughly 17 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists while the Chicago Sky went 5-5. That performance hinted at enormous untapped potential. With improved roster support, Reese is positioned to become even more dominant. Her growth represents one of the league's most compelling storylines and a major draw for the future. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese aren't just speaking casually about the future. They are performing a critical public relations function. Their confident, forward-looking language is designed to calm fans, reassure sponsors, and stabilize investor sentiment. Panic benefits no one. By projecting certainty, they shift focus away from existential fear and toward constructive resolution. Their words are intentional, strategic, a stabilizing force during a fragile negotiation period. There's also a deeper incentive at play. The legacy of the players involved in these CBA negotiations is on the line. No one wants to be remembered as part of the leadership group that oversaw the collapse of the sport that built their careers. That reality alone pushes the Players Association toward compromise rather than confrontation. While the strike vote is a necessary tool, it is not the desired outcome. Protecting and growing the game remains the priority. Clark and Reese's confidence isn't just aimed at fans, it's a direct message to investors and media partners. The WNBA is experiencing unprecedented growth in interest and viewership. Any disruption threatens that progress. Their assurances help preserve confidence, signaling that the league remains a stable and valuable investment. This perception is crucial for future broadcast deals, league expansion, and the continued elevation of women's sports worldwide. Ultimately, the public messaging from the league's biggest stars combined with the underlying financial realities reveals an unspoken consensus. Despite tough negotiations and public posturing, no major stakeholder, players, the PA, the league, or Nike can afford failure. The WNBA is too valuable, too influential, and too rich with talent to stall now. The momentum is real, and it's irreversible. The stage is set for a historic era. With superstar players publicly affirming the league's future and powerful corporations investing heavily, the WNBA is positioned for explosive growth. The CBA talks are not a threat. They are a necessary step toward long-term stability and fairness. This isn't just about avoiding a strike. It's about building a stronger, more equitable, and more dominant league than ever before. So when Caitlin Clark speaks, the league listens. When she and Angel Reese casually discuss future seasons, it isn't hope, it's a declaration. The WNBA isn't just returning in 2026. It's entering its most powerful, financially successful, and culturally impactful chapter yet. The commitment is real. The future is locked in. The WNBA is here to stay, stronger, louder, and more influential than ever.